The fascinating Hamar tribe and lifestyle. The Hamar people are part of the ethnic group of the Omo Valley in Ethiopia. They have been statistically estimated to have over 47,000 people. They have distinctive features of traditions which many people around them emulate. They are very rich in culture, despite the civilization found among many ethnic groups. They remain unbent and have a sure ground to maintain what has been practiced and transferred to them. Their ego and their traditions cannot be well understood, except if one could have loved to embark on a tourist view. They have a communal spirit that shows that no one can easily come in between them to separate them. Their uniformity goes a long way with all communal practices, such as marriage, annual rituals, ript-taking. The Hamar people are also known as Hamar. They are possibly recognized with the use of their traditional wares and bodily adornments. In this case, the women are known for their unique hairstyles, the use of ochre dreadlocks with vibrant beads. One of the fascinating things about the women of Hamar is the skill of weaving a traditional leather skirts, well decorated with metals, disc, and some elements of cowrie shells. The men use a decorative clay hairstyles, feathers, and some beads. They believe in polygamous family and seem to be the best way for successful multiplication, not just to populate their territory, but to enable them to defeat neighboring villages and other external affairs if there should be any form of an outbreak, war, or conflict. Another fascinating lifestyle which one cannot skip when talking about the Hamar people is the jumping of bulls. This calls for many people from the neighboring villages to come and watch how the practice has been carried out, since it is interesting and entertaining. This practice is made mainly for men who are transitioning into adulthood and ripe for marriage. The men are provided 16 to 30 bulls to jump over while naked. This is accompanied by singing and clapping the hands of the females. The men are liable or opportunity to repeat this practice 4 times the same day, whenever they might have likely fell. Those who succeeded are officially named or tagged as Maza, and they are the only people that have the right to get married. The boys are controlled by their parents, and their parents determined when they ought to get married. The Hamar people marry only among themselves. The marriage process of the Hamar people is proven when a male child passed the jumping of the bull. Most men get married in Hamar in their 30s. The marriage bride is paid through bride wealth, where payment is done to the bride's parents. The items needed are up to 30 goats and 20 heads of cattle. This can be paid instrumental, since the required price is much. The girls, on the other hand, can get married at the age of 17 and above. The age difference in marriage of both genders tends to be said that men happen to die first before the women. The women gain more power to control their husband's wealth after their demise. There is a flogging ritual performed by the Hamar women that looks so strange. A process whereby a woman would be proudly summited to a man for serious whip that will result to deep scars on her back to prove her devotion and loyalty to her husband. The Hamar people practice a cruel tradition presently that many people try to ask, why do they permit such to exist? A situation where an unmarried woman is permitted to have babies to test her fertility. Some of these children are abandoned in the bush suffering and wish they weren't born at all. They do this because they believe that a child gotten illegally is seen as an evil or unclean. The religious aspect in which the Hamar people stick to as the best of religion is Islamic religio. They are 95 Sunni Muslim. They believe in Allah as the supreme God. They observe prayers, fasting, giving of alms to the poor, and making pilgrimage to Mecca is found in the basic teaching in Islam, while the remaining 5 are still practicing some traditional religion, such as a strong belief on object or physical material has spirit to respond to man. They also believe that spirit that is capable of assuming human or animal form. The influence of jinns is also another traditional religion observed. The Hamar practices one vital traditional dealing that surprises many people who first come across such. When a goat is slaughtered and the outer body is skinned for several uses, stomach of the goat, where digestion is completed, change into feces to be poured. They ensure that if any child is ill or sick, he or she inhale that heat from it. To them, it is traditionally medicinal, capable of healing. They believe that animals eat vital parts of the plant that contain so many nutrients. In conclusion, the Hamar people who live in the Low Omomo Valley in Ethiopia embrace a unique way of life that has endured for centuries. They live in a hut made of mud and covered with grasses. Most families have a pool of livestock and labor to herd cattle together. They solemnly depend on cow milk and blood for survival. These cattle and goat are at the heart of Hamar's life, without which life is worthless. Their major activity is a collection of honey and cattle rearing. Other wild animals often quit the environment where they often visited. Caramels are used for riding and packing heavy items. At the beginning of the rainy season, most Hamar people plant sorghum for consumption. They are also found with the planting of beans and pumpkins. There is a division of labor in terms of sex, and the boys and men always move out to rear cattle in an open field where fresh plants are grown or found. The women also have the responsibility of collecting water, cooking and taking care of the children. Thanks for watching. Please do like and subscribe for more.